I'm Danielle Kashubi, and I'm with the Western Bird Banding Association. I am going to introduce our speakers this evening, and we'll go from there. So I'm going to start with Sergio. So Sergio is helping me with my pronunciation. We'll see how I do here. So Sergio is the director of the Tlaxiaco.
Yeah, Tlaxiaco, yeah.
Get it. Anyways, he says it much better than me. Bird Observatory, and it's managed by the NGO Chicatana. He's also an NABC certified trainer, and he began his research in environmental education and work focused on bird in the western region of his native state of Oaxaca. He's joined this evening by Karen, and Karen is a doctorate in social anthropology from CIESA Chiapas, and she has a master's in gender and culture from the University of Chile, and she's a biologist from the Metropolitan Autonomous University of Xochimilco. She's a president of the NGO Chicatana and a member of the Tlaxiaco Bird Observatory. Her professional work has focused on various topics ranging from environmental to social, with an emphasis on community work, environmental education, ecosystem conservation, and the study of culture with a gender perspective. She considers herself an ecofeminist and a decolonial feminist. So I welcome you guys. I'm looking forward to your talk this evening. And at the end, we will have questions. So if you have questions during the talk, put them in the chat and we will address them there. And Sergio and Karen, it's all yours.
Thank you so much. We're just going to share the presentation. Just let us know if it is okay. Can you see it? Perfect.
Yeah, looks great.
Thank you. Listo.
So hello, as Daniel said, we are Sergio and Karen from Tlaxiaco Bird Observatory, and I will participate briefly because my English is not very fluent, so most of the talk will be presented by Sergio. And we want to share with you a brief tour of our work in Oaxaca, Mexico. So let's get started. Our talk is called 8 Years Growing Wings in the Mixteca of Oaxaca. And the main objective of this presentation is to share the experiences of the collaborative research that Chicatana and OATL have carried out during 8 years of ethnobiological research. And the talk is divided into 4 topics. In the first, we present the team. In the second, we share our MoSI results. And in the third, we share the experiences of the community work. And in the last one, we talk about the impacts that research has had on community life. So, what is Chicatana? Chicatana is a Mexican NGO, and the Tlaxiaco Bird Observatory is an important program of this NGO. This is the logo. How do I say logo? This is the logo of the observatory, OATL. Chicatana's mission is to promote research, training, and education processes for the care of nature as a condition for the construction of dignified ways of life and community well-being, while the goal of OATL, the observatory, is to conduct scientific research and environmental education focused on birds.
So also my English is not so fluent, so if you have questions, you can leave us at the comments, please. Who we are, the team of Chicatana and OATL, it's integrated by Karen Odriozola, who is a specialist in gender and feminism, Ana Camacho, who is a biologist, a specialist in rural development, Adrián Cabrera, who is a specialist on agroecology, and me, Sergio Gomez, that I am a specialist on birds and ornithology. So for us, it's really important to give a context of our history and who we are, how we start, and the places that we work and the people that we work. So we're going to start with this diagram of our history. And we start working in Santa Maria Yucuiti in Western Oaxaca in 2016. And it's important to us to say that we were invited to go to the community. We didn't came and impose our vision of conservation. So we were invited and we were asked to look for the birds of the region and to help the people to show them the names of the Latin names, the academy, and everything. So we start in 2016 working with traditional authorities who are in charge to protect the nature. So they give us to us, they tell us their necessities and their opinions about nature, and they want to preserve all the nature of the region and this land who belongs to these people they call themselves Ñu'u Savi, which means people of the clouds. So they speak also Tu'un Savi, who is the language of the clouds. And we start our work focused on kids from all the schools on the region. Our 9 principal regions in this region, 9 principal like populational small towns in this rural community. So we work with all the schools in the community, and we focus our education with kids with the birds. So also at the same time we were doing research in shade in coffee, shade ground coffee, and also regular monitoring, systematic monitoring of the birds, also residents and migratory birds. So that was the start point. And so another descriptions of the place that we call labor with the people there, it's the western of Oaxaca. As you can see, we are close to Guerrero. In this part, we are not close to the sea. We are just in the middle of Oaxaca, and we work in the mountains of valleys and in a region called Mixteca, which is mountains and from 3,000 meters above the sea level to 500 meters above sea level. And mainly we work in 2 communities. One in the mountains, we work with the Ñu'u Savi, the nation of the clouds, and in the valleys of this region, we work with communities mestiza. I don't know the word in English, but they don't recognize themselves as indigenous. But the community of the mountains, they recognize themselves as indigenous people. So we are going to give a brief talk about the MoSI station and the description of the place that we have the banding station. So we work in shade-grown coffee plantations around 1,700 meters above sea level, which is the best altitude for grown coffee. And we work in these crops who belong to families. They have small portions of land. They don't have big crops of coffee. It's just a familiar crops, and they use methods, agroecological methods, to produce the shade-grown coffee. And also a really important characteristic of the site is that we have a cloud forest in the region, which is one of the endangered ecosystems in Mexico. And some of the results of the MoSI stations, we have been working from 6 seasons, and we have more than 600 birds captures, 300 banded birds from 71 species. So you can see the numbers are not huge, but we have like, we try to recover all the material that we can make from the birds. We have the picture from every wing, from every bird that we catch, and we have it in our digital base. And also that allow us to compare different ages from the same bird. We have recaptures from one bird, and we have the same bird recapture, and we can compare pictures of the same individual from when it was formative and a definitive, you know? So we have 5, the most captured species in our station are the white-necked thrush, the Berlin hummingbird, Nashville warbler, the white-tailed hummingbird, and Wilson warbler. And podríamos decir si se escucha la música. Can you hear the music?
It's not coming through really well. I can hear there is some music and some words come through, but maybe it's too quiet.
Maybe it's quiet. Yeah. Well, yeah, this is just an example from us, the way that we present the information in the community. So we participate in different events. In this, at the right, you can see a big reunion with all the owners of the land, more than 800 people, and we present all the job that we do, all the talks, the research, and they approve our work. More than 800 people, the landowners, women and men from the community. So we want, every time that we present our work, we try to do it with art and creativity, just to engage the people in the way that we want. And also we produce specific materials to, as you can see in the bottom at your left, you can see posters that we make talking about the coffee production, ways to improve the production, and also at the same time taking care of the birds and the fauna. All a representation of the animals of the cafetals, and also the percentages of birds that they can find in their territory. So this is the way that we work with our presentations.
And this video is a song by a music genre that is called Son Jarocho, and we use some estrofas, how do you say?
Yeah, lyrics.
We use some lyrics that represent the work that we have been doing, and talk about birds and the coffee. And it's a shame that you can't hear it, but it's beautiful.
Yeah, and some of the points of this video also was to show you all these people. If you can see this part of the video, all these people is not just people that visit this event, but are the authorities of the community. And in the same event, we have a space for children that they can make art and play with a lot of material that we bring to the event. So that is the way that we want to share the information and also learn at the same time. Yeah. Well, so also a way to describe the way that we work, it's calling in Spanish. In Spanish is colaborativas, which mean that we don't go to a place and just talk and give information. We want to share information, but also learn from the people. It no matter if they're kids, grandparents, teachers. It's really important to us to do all our activities with this characteristic. So you can see at the right side of the slide, this has been a problem with one image, but we produce a lot of material, just focus on the region and in the necessities of for the people or their doubts about birds or nature. And we also use this is like a new word in English, like heuristic tools, which means that we use techniques to discover and share knowledge. So one example for this is that every time that we encounter a farmer while we're doing research or just birding, we stop and we give them priority to talk about what we are doing, and if they have doubts or if they have histories to share. And it's like from learning from both sides, because we also learn about how they grown their crops or what are the uses that they give to the plants, because it's impressive to walk with the people in the community because they know every plant in the community. They know for what can be used, not only for food, but medical uses, and they know the trees that like to the birds and all kind of stuff. So we are really interested in learn and not just to give information. That is one of the techniques that we use. And every time we talk with a farmer, we take note of their name, what they said, what they share. And yeah, that is really important to us to give a record from everything that we learn from them. So from these tools that we use, we can call them micropolitics, which means that we have an incidence in a person, an individual, but also a familiar level. That it's one of the things that we want to promote, that they start talking by themselves between all the family and share the histories for the grandparents with their grandsons, and promote these intergenerational conversations. So it's really important from us. And we can see here this farmer who rescued this chachalaca, and he just released a yellow-breasted chat that has a tag, a low-tech tag. You can see the antenna like in the back of the yellow-breasted chat. Yeah. Okay. So one of the things that we want to show you more is this final part of the impacts on the community life that happen after our visits. It's really interesting that the way they embrace the knowledge and share it too. So we have here two examples from one picture that I take in my first walks from in the community, which is a hawk. So when they saw the picture, they decided they wanted to put on the logo for the forestal police, traditional forestal police, and they use it for 3 years because they say that the hawk was watching everything. So they feel like empowered by this bird and they use it. So this logo was in everywhere, on the trucks from the police, and on their hats, on their shirts. So it was really impressive to see this. And also they use these pictures and others from others pictures of birds in like symbol in deportive events, that in this trail they use these pictures. And this trail, this, yeah, I think it's called trail. This was una carrera. Yeah. So they recollect money to protect the forest. So they really appreciate that have these pictures, but not from taken from the internet, because all the posters that they had before us was like pictures from the internet. But they were really proud to have pictures to the birds that live in their community. So another example that we have is that they start to use not only birds, but also um, another kind of fauna, like this salamander, for the logo of the coffee production. And this has a really interesting history. When we came to the community, they have the belief that the salamanders, if you lay in the ground, you just take a nap in the in the forest, you a salamander get into your body, and for the mans put your belly big, and for the women get pregnant. But I know it sounds really impressive, but for them was something real to them, something that something cultural that really marked their lives. I didn't understand this at the beginning, but when we talk about the salamanders and the way that they are like indicators for the well-being of the crops of the coffee, one of my friends who lives there one day just told me, he was like laying on the ground of the coffee plantation and says to me, "This is my first time of my life that I'm doing this on the forest. I have fear to take a nap on the crops because the salamanders." So at that time I realized that it was a really huge change for them to learn this, and not only learn this, just like loving the salamanders, and now they rescue the salamanders from another people that already don't know that they are beneficial. So it's a really big change.
And I would like to add that when we say that we are visiting the community, we are referring to the research that we are doing. It's not just visiting the people, is doing the research at the same time, because we have a lot of techniques that involve the ethnobiological research.
Thank you. Yeah, and this is the most recent example of this. they represent with art the nature that surround them. So they paint these yellow-breasted chats in the letters of the name of their community. So they represent like the river, the crops with the corn, the iguanas, or these big lizards, I don't know the name in English, the armadillos, and also they give one special letter to represent the yellow-breasted chat that we mark with tags, and we put also a motus antenna there. So the children and the older ones are seeing these letters every day in the center of their town. So it's a really huge like way to share the information. After they paint this, I found people when I was doing the research looking for the yellow-breasted chats, and they told me, "What are you doing here?" I say, I'm doing a research. I asked for permission to the authorities, and I say to them, we just send a picture to put in the letters of the town, and they say, oh yeah, I already saw the picture of this bird that has this yellow breast. And I said, yeah, they already knew that. So it was really impressive and really fast way to learn all these things. So just for the final observations, we're doing this as a kind of resume for the work that we do. So we start doing like ethnobiological research and also scientific research. And we start from the context. We need to understand the context to doing everything. So we also make this link with the people of the community. It's not like an obligated thing to do, but we feel like this friendship relations, empathic relations with the people, because we want to, and this is part of our process, to be there and to be accepted and to be respectful with the people. So we're doing all the job that we do with really in the really ethical way, not only the academical research, but also the not only the scientific research, but also the sociological and ethnobiological research. So we want to transform and mold the way that we teach and communicate this scientific knowledge. This is really important to us. We don't want to impose something. We want to learn where we are at to transform the ways that we teach them. So that is the priority for us. So we doing this, we abandon all the practice of epistemic violence. So we're trying to change that, because that is what we were told in the university most of the times. So we change that part. And we work always from a gender's perspective. So promoting the intergenerational dialogue. I don't know if that's the word, but also something that we want to do with all these points, it's recover the language, which is the Ñu'u Savi, who is something that the older people tell to us they were afraid to lose their language because the younger people were not talking anymore. They understand, but they don't want to talk because a lot of reasons like racism and other stuff. So we try to do our activities to promote the recovery in the language, because the older ones of the community ask for help in this matter. So at the end of this work, we are doing like community conservation, not only for the nature, but also for the cultural spaces. And we also using this micro politics that I was told before to you, that is like this approach of individual or familiar level to grow in some point. So for all of this work, the most important thing that we have been doing all these years is to be to have constancia, to be constant in our work and have this commitment to keep doing the work and looking for the ways to maintain this work because it's too difficult to get this help to go to the community and maintain for all these years all this work. So we have examples from kids that take a talk when they have 6 and now they just finish their secondary school, and they can explain everything about the migration of the birds and explain for the reasons why we have abandoned station, and they can name at least 3 species of migratory birds. So it's really, really nice to see these results.
Yes, and I would like to add that if we don't work on cultural perceptions, there will be no change in the conservation field. So it is very important for us to work at the same level with the community and with the scientific research.
Yeah, as Karen says, every time we make an activity for the kids or a talk for the farmers, we try to do it in a really systematic way. We describe it and put structures in every activity that we do. We give the same importance to other scientific research and the social research, as Karen says. And all this work has been possible for all the organizations that work with us. We work with them. So thank you for all of them. The communities also. Support is really important. And yep, thank you so much. And follow us, please, in social media. So if you have questions, we will happy to answer.
Thank you so much. That's an amazingly beautiful place to be in. So I have questions, but I'm going to open the floor to other people first. I always have questions. So there was a question in the chat, but I don't have Spanish. So I'm going to, can you guys read that?
Yeah, just let me. They ask if they still killing salamanders, and from some families they don't kill anymore. And also we have seen that they when they rescue some salamanders, they bring to their coffee crops for living there, and they know the places where they live now, and they can show you, I have one here, one here, one here, but it's still a problem. But a lot of families have changed that.
Amazing. Does anyone else have a question they'd like to ask? You can unmute if you'd like. Okay, well, then I'll ask a question. So you said that the community invited you to come. Did you have a relationship before them, or how did you find them? How did that connection happen?
Yeah, I forgot that to mention. We have friends there. My town is really close to this other town. So we have this friendship with a family from this place, who is Yucuiti. And sometimes just give me a call and say, do you want to see the birds here? And I say, yes. But this relation come years ago because my father was a rural teacher in another community close to there. So too many people knew my father. So when they saw me walking in the forest, they told me, you look like the Sergio teacher. And I say, yeah, he's my father. So it was this connection from my roots also in this place.
Okay. And then there's another question in the chat that says the salamander species that is normally killed, is it a species in danger of extinction or population decline? And or is the species a widespread species that still has a healthy population sizes?
Yeah, the salamanders is a species that is endemic to southern Mexico and is endangered. But there is no too many studies of the salamanders in the region, so we don't know how many species, because the cultural, they kill every species that they found. But the species that they found more in their crop plantations is called Itzmura belly, I think. But yeah, it's endangered. But now we have like at least 5 crops of coffee where the people know how many salamanders have and the places where they live. So it's really impressive. Yeah.
Well, something else I thought was really impressive was that you had 800 people listening to your talks. I think that doesn't happen very often anywhere. So that your community is so large that is working with you is very, very impressive.
Yeah, they do this annually. This for both everything that they do on the community, the money that they receive, and what how the way that they are going to spend it and everything. But when we were talking this special in this picture, we were giving this talk at the end of 2 hours meeting, so everyone was like yeah,
So tired.
so tired, just like talking and everything. And when we put the video of the releasing birds, it was like everything was mute, like, and you can hear like the wow, wow, and all the people like pointing and say, yeah, I have seen that bird. It was really impressive. So after that meeting, the people recognize us, and I said, yeah, I know you guys. So you have the permission. You are doing correct in the correct way. So yeah, it's really awesome.
Awesome. So you have Modus tags. Have you had any returns or good information from somewhere else?
This is the first winter that we put the tags on yellow-breasted chat. So we are waiting for the autumn to see if we have some birds going back or another detections. So yeah, we are going to know that soon.
Hummingbirds were also.
Yeah, but not tags. Yep.
Awesome. Does anyone else have any questions they would like to ask? Oh, Ricardo, go ahead.
Muchas gracias por su plática de hoy. Nomás una pregunta. Lo voy a decir en español y después lo digo en inglés, pero ahí en la estación de anillando, anillaron con los anillas y también transmisores, o solamente los yellow-breasted chads los pusieron los transmisores. And then I asked at their banding station if they banded with the aluminum bands, or as well as with the transmitters, or just the yellow-breasted chads received the transmitters.
Yeah, thank you for the question, Ricardo. And for the banding station, we just put aluminum bands, and for the tags, we make target netting just for capture yellow-breasted chat, and we capture 30 individuals.
Y ellos vuelan por el Pacific Flyaway o otra ruta?
We doesn't know, but we believe this is a Western population. We have the Auricolis subspecies, so it's the Western one. So after we put these tags, we really hope to have information if they fly for these Pacificas. Yeah, you say Pacific, right?
Yeah, Pacific Flyaway.
Yeah. It's the Pacific Flyway. We believe that, but we are going to know better in a few months.
Hey, okay. Muchas gracias. Yeah.
Con gusto, Ricardo. Gracias a ti.
¿Dónde está la estación y dónde está las anillas?
Ahí. Mhm.
Pero puedes repetir.
Yeah, and here at the red point we have it's really a difference of the region that we study is like 30 kilometers from the farthest side. And so it's really at this point of this red point of the map in western Oaxaca. So really, it's a transition place. So you can find tropical species and high mountain species. Yeah.
So there's another question in the chat. Have your banded birds been found anywhere else? If so, where?
No, we don't have any recapture from another station. We still hope to catch some of them, but no yet.
To be honest, I'm always amazed when that does happen. Like, how does a bird in one spot fly 3,000 miles and then find another net? I don't know how that happens.
Yeah, that is the difficult. Yeah, but we are still like a small station. I think it's not like the big numbers, but this is a region that no one has doing this job. So it's really important to us to put all the information not only in the scientific platforms, but also to put it on the society level, that they can explain that. Yeah.
Here's another, I'll let you read this one again.
¿Qué porcentaje recuperamos en su fidelidad al sitio? En realidad ha sido muy poca las recapturas que hemos tenido. Tenemos alrededor de 24 recapturas. We have like 24 recaptures from the birds. It's difficult. We identified that our station is like place not for mature males, for DCB males. We have like a lot of females, a lot of formative individuals, and we believe that we are in this part of the distribution. Yeah. Oh yeah, and something that we forgot to mention, that when at the beginning when we came to the community, they were mad with the birds because they eat the best seeds of the coffee. This was really impressive because they was like a mad, but they don't kill them. They just was like all the birds. But now we have one family who lives just aside from the banding station, that they love birds now. They collect the grains that has been chosen by the birds. They identified like during 6 or 8 days the seeds that has been chosen for the birds, because they choose the better grains, and they recollect this coffee and they sell this coffee. It's an added value for their products because it's completely organic and also chosen by birds.
And they say
Awesome.
really sweet.
Yeah, it's really good coffee. They choose the sweetest seeds of the coffee. And they have changed their mentality completely about the birds.
Amazing. Vianney, go for it.
Hello. I'm going to ask first in Spanish and then I'm going to translate. Quería saber, es que bueno, no escuché desgraciadamente toda la plática, entonces quería saber si han detectado más bien la parte como social de las personas, cambios en su comportamiento, aparte de lo que dijeron ahorita, si hay alguna otra cosa que hayan notado, ¿no? Por ejemplo, aquí se usa mucho que los jóvenes cazan las aves para venderlas, ¿no? Para tenerlas en su casa, así de ornato. Y eso es algo que yo, por ejemplo, estoy tratando de trabajar, ¿no? Para que reduzca eso, o también los niños que matan las aves solamente como por diversión, ¿no? Con tiraúl. Entonces, sí han notado como que también esa parte, ¿no? Las actitudes de la gente. Well, in English, I was asking about if they have noticed some like behavioral change on the people, especially those people, because here in I'm in Yucatan Peninsula, and the young people used to catch the birds for selling them, and also just for fun killing them, like hunting. And this is a sad situation, and I'm trying to change those behaviors, but it's kind of hard. So maybe through this strategic that he has the station and the people is knowing how they are working with birds, maybe have changed those behaviors.
Gracias, Vianey. Sí, eso es una parte muy importante de nuestro trabajo. Es como uno de nuestros objetivos principales es trabajar en conjunto como esta cuestión cultural, ¿no? Al mismo tiempo que la cuestión científica. Por eso decimos que hacemos esta investigación etnobiológica y hemos notado muchísimos cambios en muchas familias con las que trabajamos que viven cerca de la estación de anillamiento, y es algo que llamamos como estas micropolíticas, ¿no? Son estos espacios de incidencia que tenemos en los que podemos transformar poco a poco algunas concepciones en torno a la naturaleza que pues son erradas y que disminuyen la biodiversidad del lugar. Sin embargo, lo hacemos poco a poco y lo hacemos de la manera más respetuosa posible, porque no somos quienes, como desde esta mirada cientificista, ¿no? Como de la academia, para poder decir y señalar con el dedo y decir tú estás mal y las cosas que tú crees están mal, sino justamente eso se genera a través de un diálogo, y ahí llega un punto en el que ellas y ellos mismos nos dicen como, ok, ya entendí que las aves no son malas, ya entendí, ¿no? Como un montón de cosas, y eso nos hace pues a nosotras súper felices porque es un trabajo como un poco de picar piedra, ¿no? Es una comunidad muy grande, pero estamos ahí como muy presentes con esa constancia que decía Sergio.
Sí, y otra cosa que olvidé mencionar también, que en este... voy a olvidar.
Okay.
I forget everything. No, I don't forget everything you say, but it's going to be hard to say it in English. But I'm going to answer also in Spanish, Vianey, that nosotros notamos que hubo muchos cambios en ciertas actitudes bien particulares, no solo cerca de la estación, donde se ha visto el mayor cambio, sino también en toda la comunidad. Ahora, algunos ejemplos que nos decían era que mientras estaban tomando en las fiestas, las personas de nuestra edad, como de 25 a 35, se ponían a hablar de la fauna y nos decían, eso nunca sucedía antes. Entonces ya hablaban de qué aves habían visto o qué animales habían visto ellos o sus abuelos. Y también en estas comunidades tienen leyes muy estrictas acerca de cazar fauna ilegalmente. Entonces eso sucede mucho. Y también lo que comentaba Karen, cuando veíamos pasar a las personas con sus rifles, porque siguen teniendo esta cacería de subsistencia, como que se disculpaban mucho con nosotras, y nosotras les decíamos, no tienen por qué disculparse con nosotros, ustedes son dueñas y dueños de su territorio, y obviamente pueden aprovecharlo. So I'm going to tell in English the answer. I will try to remember everything, but we forgot to tell that these local communities has really strict laws about hunting. So, but we have noticed a lot of change of attitudes in the people, in the young ones also. There was an anecdote from some people who tell me now when we are drinking, we talk about the animals of the community, and that never happens before. So now they are aware and they are not shy to share between them this information. And now when we came to the community, the people just showing us their cell phones to the pictures. I saw this bird, which one is this? And they told me, do you know this one that sings in this way? And I saw it is this color. And yeah, a lot of things have changed in the community.
Awesome. So I'm going to ask a question from the chat. Do you allow people outside of locals to visit and observe at your banding stations?
Yeah, we receive people at the station, and also if they want to banding, we just need to ask for permission to the communities and give their name or what are the goals of these people. But yeah, every time they say yes, but they no to the people who are just visiting. But yeah, for sure, we're really glad to receive whoever wants to come to our station.
And Matthew, do you want to go?
Hi. Yeah, great presentation and fantastic work. I'm just curious, we do something similar with similar missions in Belize. And so I was wondering, has there been a reaction from a local government or a government in general to your actions? How have they reacted, or has it attracted any attention? Like either in education or any other parts of it?
So if I understand right, you were asking if we have like incidents in the politics of the
No, has it attracted like local governments into their education programs? So to have you guys included in, to go into other schools or to kind of expand what you guys are doing at a bigger level?
Yeah, it's not like a growing like too fast and too big, but yes, we have been invited to another schools in the city, in another near towns, with not like changing the educational program in the like pointly, but we work with the teachers to bring all the material that we do in the schools, and they connect with another topics. So every time we have this talk, they connect with another related educational program that they have.
Okay. Oh, that's great. Yeah, because you guys are doing such great work that it's good for.
Thank you, Matthew. Yeah. And also Karen says that we receive visits from the authorities every time that we go to the school. So it's really nice
And
to
the
have them.
educational authorities.
Yeah, they have authorities for the education of the kids. So they are every time with us in this work.
Great. Sometimes it makes it easier when we have a little bit of support from them.
Yeah. Thank you, Matthew.
I don't see any other hands up or any other questions. Just give it one more minute for anyone to ask.
Una pregunta más. Disculpa, una pregunta más. Pues el otro día también asistí otro webinar y me dicen que están traduciendo el Piles Guide. Y entonces ahí en su estación de anillamiento están usando el nuevo guía que van a traducir, o pues todavía no ha sido traducido, ¿verdad? Entonces están usando el primer edición.
Estamos utilizando ya la segunda edición. Ya tenemos la nueva edición, pero en inglés.
Oh, ok. Pero
Y
todavía
estamos-
no tienen el que... ok, yeah.
No, creo que Ricardo y la va a presentar, y Peter Pye la van a presentar en verano, me parece, y la van a sacar en 2 tomos. Esta edición, haz de cuenta que el volumen 1 lo dividieron en 2 tomos, entonces van a ser 2 libros para comprar, entonces estamos viendo cuál compramos, tal vez solo el de Chipes.
Hey, ok, ya, ya. Pues ya, gracias. Nomás quería saber.
Sí, Ricardo. Gracias. So Ricardo was asking about the material, the Peter Pyle guide that we use, and we are using the second edition of the first volume, but we are waiting for the translating edition from the Pyle, which volume 1, it's going to be in 2 books, so it's going to be really expensive, but we are hoping to get both of them if we can.
It's coming. It would be great to have that widespread amongst the community. That would be wonderful. I waited a long time for the English version, so I hope that everyone gets it in whatever language they need it soon. Any other questions? Well, then we're going to wrap it up. So on behalf of the Western Bird Banding Association, I thank you for your talk. That was great and very informative. I'm just so glad you can touch the community, and the community is back, and the feedback is both ways. So that's awesome. So thank you for that, and thank you all for joining us today. I will get those videos up and let everybody know when they're on the website. So thank you again. Have a good night, everybody.
Gracias a todos.
Gracias.
Gracias a todas.